Hi, my name is Sam Price. Welcome to the macro technical analysis video. Every single Friday, I do a macro technical analysis video for Bitcoin, the total market cap of all the cryptocurrencies, the total market cap of all the cryptocurrencies excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, Bitcoin dominance, Tether dominance. We look at the NASDAQ, the S&P, gold, and really give you a big picture of what's happening on the global scale. Let's have some fun. Let's break it down and let's take a look at the charts. We always first start with the elephant in the room, bitty Bitcoin. Now we always start here with the elephant in the room, bitty Bitcoin. Let's start up with BTC. So the one thing I want to show you is the weekly. That's what we've been focused on these macro analysis videos. And you can see that, we're desperate for a weekly candle to close green. We kept faking that we could close green and then giving it back, and giving it back. We now have a bullish engulfing candle. You can put multiple candles of that size inside. That's a beautiful sign. And this candle is closing above 97,200. Very, very bullish. I'd like to see it break above 97,005 right there and close the candle up there. But it does suggest that this candle is going to continue to close green in 2 or 3 days, Sunday night. And we're going to then eventually come up. Now, this could even eventually be bearish and dump. We don't know. But it does suggest that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks at the very most, I'd say 3 to 5 weeks, Bitcoin's going to find and have to make a massive decision as it gets tighter and tighter inside the zone. But right now, where we stand, this looks like it's going to close beautifully. Again, this could change. The last time I did this macro analysis, the day later, we had a massive, crazy move. So it was green up until. Right now, though, the Stokes resetting, the RSI in a pretty good spot, getting lower below the dotted line there and falling. And the MACD showing signs of bearish momentum, kind of starting to become, lacking bearish momentum, really not showing a lot of strength on the bear side. And then wick, some of the biggest wicks I've ever seen on the weekly in the history of any asset, specifically for Bitcoin. And so this is saying, hey, we're back to bullish again. You got to remain bullish if this is the case. If this candle closes this way, you have to take that as a bullish sign. That's a bullish engulfing candle. And you have to suggest we're on our way to 142,000 somewhere by the end of April. So I am back to being more bullish. However, I will flip if this starts to change and this doesn't close. If this closes red, then of course, right, that's not a bullish sign. But right now, Bitcoin looking beautiful and getting ready for a bigger move on the weekly and the coming week. I like it. Let's take a look at the total market cap in all of cryptocurrency, total 3. Now, total 3 is just more of a vertical, flag because the altcoins got hit worse and they fell down and they basically take some of that market cap. But because Bitcoin's strong, it's still sitting. To me, that's just a bull flag. You're touching the 21-day moving average. I've traded this on the 1 hour, the 1 minute, the 4 hour, the daily. Like I've traded this exact flag bullishly thousands of times in my life on multiple time frames. Now it's the weekly's turn to show that the market cap's ready to rip. It looks bullish to me. So this is the market cap of all of cryptocurrency. The Stokes are low. You're near the 21. And again, anything could happen. But with that massive wick to the upside, it's suggesting that we will close green. We get tight. And then boom, it's only a matter of time until we get a massive breakout. This is what I call an ascending cup and handle. I've seen it many times. I'd even like if the RSI dripped a little more and we get some more almost hidden bullish divergence. And then boom, we might get a couple little pullbacks in altcoins here and there, but for the most part, it looks like the biggest pain was over. So that's a very bullish sign. I like what I'm seeing. Anything could happen, but right now we have to take this as bullish. The uptrending cup and handle with the target up there at $4.9 trillion for the total market cap in all of cryptocurrency. Next is going to be total 3, the market cap in all of crypto, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. These are the altcoins. You can see they're slumping a little bit, not as green because Bitcoin's stronger, and Bitcoin might go on another run. That might let the altcoins slip a little bit. They might get one more liquidation wick down to 791 billion there into the 618 golden pocket. But for the most part, I like accumulation for altcoins in this green box, getting ready for what I just talked about on total, the uptrending cup and handle for the bigger move. This would send these smaller altcoins to $1.5 trillion, $1.59 trillion in total market cap. And this would tell us this is the accumulation time of a lifetime right here to be grabbing some alts. The Stokes are getting low. We are holding a higher low and above resistance while the Stokes reset. That is a bullish sign. All right. So we've gone through some rocky roads. They've major liquidation, the biggest one in the history of cryptocurrency. And if you're with me right now, you have survived, you are ready, and we may be rewarded for going through all of this pain. Next is Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance shows how much money is flowing in and out of Bitcoin compared to the rest of the market. If you remember, we looked at Bitcoin dominance and we saw this cup and handle a few weeks back. And it told us that Bitcoin was going to rip out of the cup and handle to the upside. It did just that. And then we got into this tight channel. We saw how this tight channel could break out, and it did that as well. Then we came for the retest, and now look, we're in another tight flag. I see Bitcoin just kind of coiling up and then breaking out huge. And then when Bitcoin breaks out, Bitcoin dominance is going to pump. Just watch your altcoins again. Like I showed you, there could be that little dip like we talked about on Total 3. And then boom, that'll say, hey, Bitcoin's done playing around. It's back above 100K. You know, nation states, entire city, you know, Michigan's buying, Ohio's buying, other states are buying, people around the world. And people are realizing that Bitcoin is the answer, and they're just going to continue to buy. So it shows like Bitcoin dominance is on the way for a big move. That would take us to watch U.S. Tether dominance. And what we want to see is we would like to see that in a bear flag or losing a key level. Interesting enough, Tether dominance is in kind of a flag here on the daily. And weirdly enough, I mean, what if that tries to make a bounce there out that flag? What we want to see is we want to see resistance, and we want to see this thing collapse to the downside. It is below the 200 MA, and that is curving, but, you know, it is on the 21. Let me see if I can, you know, so I'm just, you know, I'm being open-minded. I would like to see it show more of a bearish sign. I do see this bear flag playing out, and I'd like this to get down to the bottom of the channel, almost like it's in this. Let's take a look if there's a resistance on the 4-hour. And the 4-hour has kind of, look, it has an Adam and Eve, a backwards one though. Like, see, there's your, you know, and almost looks like it'll make a shoulder, head, or right shoulder and dump. So, you know, the daily doesn't look too bearish. I got to give it to it. But look, we're very far below the 200 on the 3-day. And the 3-day is overbought. And so on the 3-day, so the daily might play a little bit of game back and forth. But the 3-day suggests you're going to fill out this bear flag and continue to the downside. And that's just what we want to see for dominance. So I love it. That's looking absolutely beautiful. That brings me to the DXY because, you know, it has a lot to do with the correlation with Tether dominance. And last week I said I purchased real estate based on the idea that I believe the DXY has topped. If that's true, your real estate's going to start getting more expensive to buy. The price cutting is going to end. People are going to start taking them, and they're going to see that. And then as the real estate market goes up, people are going to feel like, oh, they got to buy now, because if they don't, they're going to have to pay more. Looks like there'll be a little jump, but we'd like to see this to continue in the trend it's going further to the downside. Shoulder, head. So you might see a little jump, a shoulder, and then boom, the bigger drop comes somewhere by, you know, the end of March into April. So still, DXY looking weak. And that's what we'd like. You know, we want to see the dollar drop. That way, you know, and again, that will create inflation. Prices will go up. But what will happen is Bitcoin will go up in value. Risk on assets will go up in value. And it really will change the way, you know, people are looking at the real estate market. So in my mind, you're going to see prices probably, I don't know if they're going to contain it. And I think they're going to have to cut the rates. The dollar drops, prices go up. They got to cut the rates. All right. Because they're going to have to make borrowing easier. So that's my prediction for the world market. We'll see what happens. It's very anti-Fed or anti-Jerome. He's saying they'll get to 3%. I claim they never get to 2%. I claim they never will. You take that as you want. All right. But remember that I did say it. So there's your DXY. I also like to throw gold in there because gold just, you know, it's a standard. I've been trading it for a long time on and off. And I've been spot on with the gold call. Gold tight right there, and I could see it breaking out. It did that. And it's going to stall out, in my humble opinion, somewhere around here. But remember, go sideways. The dollar gets that little move back like it looks like. The altcoins pull back like it looks like. And then boom, gold rips out of this flag, altcoins rip out of this flag, and the dollar drops. Again, it says somewhere by late March 21st into April, and then boom. And again, another idea could be a good idea to buy some real estate in this present price action. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. You got to have your own ideas and plans. I'm just going over things that I'm doing based on the probabilities that I'm reading in the charts. Let's take a look at S&P futures and see what's happening. So we talked about the S&P, and we told you to look out for this to be somewhat more bullish and forming the flag, right, as I showed up next week. We did. We got 2 or 3 days more of bullishness, and we did continue to pump inside the target, or inside the pattern here, right? But the target was heading into the end of this nose of this pattern. So we're heading into that area. Now, a red day on the 3-day chart, okay, that's not bad. But again, you got to fill out the pattern. So last few days are red. Now, if you lose this, you could drop to a double bottom, right? I'm open-minded, but it looks to me like they're going to be printing that money. This bounces off this bottom trend line. But just watch closely. You know, you got to see an oversold 4-hour time frame there. So look, shoulder, head, right shoulder. They dropped us today. S&P taking a bit of a move down. But that tells me you'll get back up, get tight. And that's just really filling out the pattern, right? What goes up must come down. I'm looking for the S&P to stay inside this pattern. I'm looking for the 4-hour to stay above the 200 MA. And when I come back next week, we will have basically began to break out of this pattern or just be jam-packed in the end of it, ready to make a move. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ, same thing. Just giving it a little more leeway here, a little more spacing, but it's going to be pulling back, getting tight. But that nose is ready for price to consolidate for the next few weeks. This also suggests right there, March 20th, 21st, right there. And then boom, the dollar collapses, the NASDAQ explodes. It all seems like it's setting up for that moment in time. And we're going to keep watching this each week as we get closer and closer to the move. Last but not least, I'd like to look at SOLBTC. It's a chart I look at a lot and just watch as Sol kind of, was beating up against Bitcoin. If you're going to have an alt season, you think Sol would have to beat up. Honestly, it looks like we're going to have another bigger Bitcoin move. And I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in SOLBTC right now. Look at this. And it looks like Bitcoin may outperform Sol, which almost doesn't make any sense. But that's what I'm seeing here. You had the shoulder, head, right shoulder, you dropped, and then a bear flag. So SOLBTC with the rounded top, not looking amazing like it was before. So Bitcoin really taking center stage, as you can see here on these world markets. So in conclusion, we're looking for Bitcoin to close the weekly bullish and hold the level that it's at. All right. Again, today's a crucial day. I've gone over a bunch of stuff for my trading group, so there are some key levels that have to be held on the local time frame. But right now, that weekly is closing green, and if we get that green close, we go from there into the next week. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. And remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing. I go live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. I also do an exclusive live stream on the weekends, on the mornings, just to kind of get you involved in what's happening and show you the updates you would get if you were in the trading group every single morning. I appreciate you. I care about each and every one of you, and I want you to win. Please subscribe to my channel so I can do that. And I'll see you on the next live stream or video that I produce. Remember, crypto is life.